Today, if you all could join me with the pledge and silent prayer. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now will you bow with me for a moment? Thank you all. Appreciate you all coming today. We will go ahead and review the minutes from the previous meeting in August. If y'all would like a copy of these minutes, I will get them for you. That's the agenda. Okay. But if you would like a copy of these, you're welcome to have them too. Motion accepted. All right, we have a motion from Commissioner Floyd to second. We have Commissioner Green to second. All those in favor? Thank you all very much. Now we will review the financial statements and treasurer's reports. It's in these minutes to do it. And this is, we needed these copies signed. Have you got those needed signed? Send them around. Here. Yeah, we need to have them signed.
We just got to take out the 165, so not to the grid.
I don't see any backgrounds on the agenda.
Oh, I don't even.
What is it?
The ending bank balance.
Is it briefly there?
Yeah, it's an easy fix.
I'm sorry, can you speak up?
We're looking for the ending bank balance on the financial reports, just a typo.
Yeah.
If you could, Jennifer, go ahead and run and grab that and we'll handwrite it in. balance is, for the general account is $106,282.83.
106.
282.
106.
Just sign copies, guys, and send them around.
I'll make a motion to accept that time.
We have a motion on the floor to accept it by Commissioner Floyd and a second by Commissioner Harmon. And all those in favor? Thank you. I'll get these sent around for you. Flip through and sign it. All right, moving on to commissioners' reports. Hambone Helm, you're first up, but you're signing, so I'm gonna go over to Commissioner Harmon.
That far I know, it's going pretty good. They're still, now this morning they came a little early along 42 and 421, but they didn't do any side roads, so they waited for that. So they must have waited for they like.
Yeah. Good. And Commissioner Floyd, the secretary.
We just need to get somebody out there and run that gazebo and do a little bit of landscaping and get that grass sold by the middle of October if we can. The next time that we have a funeral, and Sammy's here speaking, maybe he can or Jimmy can, either one, to do some landscaping and get some grass sold in there. And the bushes and things, I don't think it'd hurt anything if we wait till spring and plant a few bushes, because go through the winter months, you never know what's going to happen in here.
Have we got any bids on landscaping on that?
I think we had one, but it was, I thought outrageous. Yeah.
It seemed like we should get one here in the county or something on base in Indiana.
Okay.
That's the way I feel about it.
Okay.
Somebody surely could do a well, just as well.
I'm just making notes to get the grass so move all dirt. All right, and now I'll go back to you, Commissioner Hambone.
As far as I know, they've got everything running. They've got the dirt and stuff moved down to the plant, got it to the landfill. That was a costly mess, and we got that taken care of, ready for the next quarter. The only other thing that I have right now is we use some riprap around the upper pond where the water comes in. It's washed out real bad. Every time it rains, it's continuing to wash, and we can get that done fairly reasonable with the same company that we're using now. But I just want to get it approved for the next quarter, to be done within the next month or two. Because if we keep continuing, this will help on our FEMA money and stuff and getting it going.
And just to piggyback off of what he's talking about, up there at the influent where the sewer comes in to the upper lagoon, we had to cut all them trees out. Now that was Division of Water saying that, and so we did. Well, when those trees come out, there goes the back, and it's a catch-22. But they want riprap, up around that influent, and it is a big expense. But we can point to the flood as helping that erosion that took place up there. So we think we can get that done. The one company that we have been working with on this says he can do it for $13,200. Now we can go ahead and accept that if you all are okay with that, or we can put out for bid, get other companies to bid on it. But just my opinion, that's not the way it is. I don't want to get too far into winter.
The way we spray up next to the water and kill all the vegetation, it just keeps creeling in. A long as you've got grass and vegetation there, it's gonna stay there. But if you spray that, kill all vegetation,
It's gonna walk.
it just falls in the lagoon. And the state says, do this, and then they tell us to come back and rip it.
Yep.
But they don't wanna give it.
They don't wanna pay.
They don't wanna send any money with it.
Right.
But
Catch 22.
It's crazy. We never would have that collapse like that before. Of course, we didn't spray it. We didn't spray up to that water. And the lower lagoon, same way. The lower lagoon, you can see it. You can see it falling in.
And
It's
it
falling in.
will be the same way too.
It's falling in.
And they say you can't grout that riprap either. They wanna, just do it, yeah.
And that, the thing about the lower pond, we can fix that as we get the road fixed. Once they turn the money loose to do that,
Where we get any money.
yeah.
One thing I had suggested, talking to Jim and Jim, is if we're doing something every quarter, when we file those quarterly reports, it shows that we are working on things. I have explained to this lady, I guess she's with Kentucky Emergency Management. We are on a very small budget here. We've cashed out a $53,000 CD, and we don't have unlimited funds. So, can you work with us on that? And she had indicated to me that as long as we are steadily doing something to show our good faith, that we are fixing it, we will start seeing reimbursements. Our new quarterly report is due October 15th. But I think we did something this last quarter by removing all the sludge and the road the road that was taken, washed out from the flood. And then next month, or the next quarter, we will, if you guys are good with it, we will do this riprap job. And that'll show that we are making efforts to get.
Did you get a letter on mandate to rip back in there?
No, I don't have it, but I'd say there is one. Hoskins may have it. I'll ask him if he does. He is with his wife today at a doctor, so he can't be here.
I'd say put it out for bid. I don't know what you guys think.
I'd say put it out for bid too.
Okay.
Well, if it's got to be done, it has to be done. So it,
But you get one person doing everything, then he's going to get pretty comfortable giving prices. If he
Right.
knows he's bidding against somebody else,
Make it more competitive.
I said, let's get another bid, at least one more.
You guys want to make that in form of a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Do we need that?
bid, put it out for bid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to put it out for bid.
All right, we got a motion from Hambone to bid out the riprap job at the influent at the wastewater treatment plant.
How many feet are we talking about?
I know we'd have to measure it and get specifications before we advertise it, so that we know everybody's bidding on the same animal.
Right there at the head of the end.
Just like coming from where the pipe comes in, come around like a half inch, no more than that.
Okay.
And I know the way Hoskins described it, there were specifications, so he must have a letter to indicate that. And we'll go on those specifications before we advertise that. All right, and we have a second from Commissioner Harmon, and all those in favor? Opposed, none? All right, thank you, gentlemen. Now I'll go back to Commissioner Green with the streets and sidewalks.
Okay, we got, I have two potholes in the areas of Dollar Store and Wentworth North. I'm still working on trying to get that repaired, so I'm going to stick with it, get it done some way. As far as the other, I'm pretty well up to date.
You ever got a bid?
Haven't yet.
Dollar Store and Wentworth North.
Yes, sir.
How much feet are you talking, Harold? A
I
pretty
don't know
big place.
exactly how many
Potholes.
it is. Yeah. It's,
Will that patch fill it?
Man's supposed to give me a price on it, but he never has yet, no. A bid on it. He's gonna give me a price. He's
The,
done measured it all and everything,
Right.
what he got to do, so.
If it's the same place that we've been talking about, the dollar store, I reached out to the area director, and she was supposed to come meet with me one day to talk about this. She didn't show, so I sent her a text message and said, "Did I miss you?" And she never responded.
That's fine,
So I don't know
yeah.
exactly where we are on their part of paying for,
A lot of people ain't very good with the word now, I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Well, and it's hard with, that's a big company.
Yeah,
And I'm sure there's protocols and channels that she would have to go through. And maybe she didn't feel comfortable talking about it. I don't know. But I was specific at what I wanted to talk to her about. And I thought she would show up, but she did not. And I have not heard from her. But I'll still keep working on that. And then up there at Wentworth, is it up here by Marathon?
no, it's clear up on
Oh,
the end.
okay.
Up on the end. where
Up
you
there
go
by,
out- where you
Brent-
go out to the middle school there.
Brent Williams.
Across the road there from Dogsville.
Okay.
Is it on us or the school?
The school's done moved away, haven't they? on that
Well, it's
side?
still, it's still.
Yeah, they
Still
still
their
own.
property.
Yeah, but, it's, it's a kind of a sore area there. State, should do it, but they say it's not theirs, and then they leave it up to us, so I don't know. But it runs out to almost to the concrete road there.
It's out on 421, right?
Yeah, 421 north.
Yeah, yeah, the buses still go through there, but.
They,
No
I
kidding.
don't think there's much traffic like it was, but it's still a bad place, so. And I don't know why the state
The
won't.
states should do it.
State, I went to see them, but they back off on me. They won't do that.
That ain't no else, I ain't gonna vote to fix it.
Right. Who did you speak to down there, Harold? Was it?
Sir?
Who did you speak to down there?
I spoke to two persons, I don't know who they are, but one of them out there was taking care of it today.
Okay.
And I talked to them about it. And the main one wasn't there that day, so.
Todd's supervisor.
Todd wasn't there that day.
Right,
so-
Todd Pierce.
Yeah, I spoke to one of the others that took, I don't know what his name was, but he's in charge, He said we fixed some of this stuff up there for you before and all that. And they just didn't want to do it. They just didn't want to do it. I don't know. You'd think they'd try to help us in a way,
Todd don't give you no satisfaction, call it state tab.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking.
You got to.
Yeah, he's the engineer.
Engineer.
Yeah,
Jeff, sorry, that's
Yeah.
the street.
Yeah, Jeff.
But
okay.
Who's Todd's boss?
All right, we'll do that. All right, we'll move right along. The cleaning and painting of the handrails, fellas, we got it done.
Looks good.
I gotta tell you,
pretty good job, wasn't it?
the grinding of the handrails was a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
But we did get it done, and we used those gloves to paint the handrails, and they, were falling apart on us at the end. So every day when I walk past there, I pick off pieces of the glove. Eventually, I'll have it all picked off. But they do look 100% better, and we still have paint left,
We've still got more rails to paint too.
and we still have more rails to paint. So that'll be ongoing. But the football team greatly appreciates the donation that we gave them, and I thank you guys too for letting me work with them on that project. This next one, the landlord registration ordinance, I'm gonna table that, guys, until we complete our ordinance with the, creation of the code enforcement board and code enforcement officer. And then, we'll go from there on that. The job description for the public works director, that would be for the Jimmy Hoskins. But I think I've given everybody a copy of that. You guys all have that in front of you.
That's just basically what it does now, but it's in writing, but
That's right. Yeah. There may be a few little things. One thing that Commissioner Hambone wanted in there was daily reports. And what Hoskins has been doing is either texting me what he's done every day or emails me his rundown of the day, so that we can keep track of what he's working on, what he's done for a day. And I'm sure I'll need a motion for this, Amy.
is the time sheet also supposed to be done?
You know what? I think I have that in.
I'm not saying you
I
don't.
don't see it either.
If I don't, then I will fix that.
Because that's something we need from all employees, is a time sheet.
I'm not missing, I don't see it.
I don't see it either, guys. I'm gonna add that, fellas, to, essential duties and responsibilities. So at the bottom of page 1 is where I will, insert that. I'm not sure how I'll word it yet, but for all general purposes, I'll say, must, turn in timesheet. Do you want it every payday,
Everybody, that's how you get paid unless you sign off on it.
well, I was gonna say, do you want it every payday or every week?
We can do it.
She did have one.
Must turn in.
And it was in our, employee handbook that you had to have, overtime approved prior to.
That's right, that sticks. Yeah, that sticks. Yeah. And unless it's in the case of emergency.
Well, yeah, I understand.
It turns in the same time sheet, right?
Yes, yes,
And you approve it.
yes.
And we discussed the holiday,
But yes, and the holiday, that is one we still need iron out.
Yeah.
there's no reason for all days.
4 hours. We don't need 4 hours on the streets.
And I think that is one we will put in our personnel policy. Do you think about holiday pay?
It's gonna apply to everybody, I would do it instead of each job description, just put it in there, yeah.
Okay. All right. So adding the timesheets thing, guys, you're good with just that part?
I'll make a motion to accept it if you
All
need
right.
one.
Thank you, Frank.
You got here, have the ability to work with independent and to make routine decisions on the operation of the plant processes and the equipment during the mayor's absence. But he needs to come to us to let us know what's going on before he makes that decision.
Right, and this, with that, what he's talking about, guys, is page 2, the 8th sentence down under work requirements. It says have the ability to work with independence and to make routine decisions on the operation of the plant processes and equipment during the mayor's absence. I interpreted this sentence as very operational. Nothing,
Minimal.
right, I mean, just everyday stuff.
That's fine.
That he would be able to, like the samples, or like, if he sees that the lift station, the floats are tangled up.
Normal operation.
Yeah, just normal routine routine decisions.
If there's some non-routine decision, you could always add must seek prior approval from the commission in the mayor's absence.
Okay.
Before spending $20,000.
Yeah, for non-routine.
Yeah.
If there is a non-routine if there is a non-routine event, must seek approval of commission in the mayor's absence. Does that sound?
Well, or whoever oversees, because we'll each have, or do it that way you're not gonna have a special meeting or something.
Oh, that's true.
That's gonna be a problem.
Of commissioner over the wastewater department, right? Okay. How's that sound, gentlemen? We have a motion from Commissioner Floyd to accept this job description. And do we have a second? We have a second by Commissioner Hambo, and all those in favor? Thank you, gentlemen. Moving right along. Okay, I will turn this over to Ms. Eversole for the ordinance, first reading of the ordinance creating the code enforcement.
We need a motion for sure.
All right. I would like to make a motion that we have our first reading on the ordinance to create a code enforcement board and code enforcement officer relating to House Bill 422. How's that sound? Yes. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
All right, and all those in favor? Thank you,
An
gentlemen.
ordinance of the City of Bedford, Kentucky establishing a code enforcement board, whereas it is the intent of KRS 658801 to 658839 to protect, promote, and improve the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens residing within the city by authorizing the creation of an administrative board with the authority to issue remedial orders and impose fines in order to provide an equitable, expeditious, effective, and inexpensive method to ensure compliance with the ordinances enforced within the city, and it's the desire of the City Commission to utilize the authority in those statutes by creating the Code Enforcement Board. And I'm just going to summarize this by section because it is very lengthy. Section 1 is just the definitions that are applicable to the rest of the ordinance. Section 2 creates the board and has 3 members, and they each have to live in the city for a period of at least 1 year prior to appointment. Section 3 is their enforcement powers. They can enforce any ordinance that defines a violation that classifies it as a civil offense. Section 4 sets forth the appointment of members, term of office, removal from office, the oath and compensation. The board members are appointed by the commission, may be removed by the commission. The initial terms are staggered. Then the subsequent terms are each for a term of 3 years. You all fill any vacancies on the board. The board is not compensated, but they're reimbursed for actual expenses. Section 5 is organization of the board, meetings and quorum. The code board annually elects the chair from the members. The chair is the presiding officer and the full voting member of the board. The meetings will be here the second Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. They're subject to the Open Meetings Act. At least the majority of the entire membership, so at least 2 people have to be present for a quorum, and they have to keep minutes. Section 6, conflict of interest. If any member has some sort of conflict of interest, they are supposed to disclose that and disqualify themselves from voting on any interest in which they have, any matter in which they have an interest. Section 7 sets forth their powers. They can adopt rules and regulations, conduct hearings, subpoena violators, witnesses, and evidence to their hearings, take testimony under oath, make findings of fact and issue orders, impose civil fines. Section 8 is the enforcement proceedings, which is basically the code enforcement officer will issue a citation and then they serve it on the alleged violator. Then the violator has 7 days to either pay the fine or they can file a request for a hearing. If they do not contest that, then that citation becomes the final and non-appealable order. And then the orders are served on the violator. Section 9, hearing, notice, and final order. If they do request a hearing that sets forth the procedures for the board's hearing. Section 10, presentation of cases. The cases can be presented to the board by an attorney, the code enforcement officer, or a member of the city staff. Section 11, appeals, final judgment. If there is a hearing and someone wants to appeal the order of the board, they have 30 days to do that, and it's to the district court here in Trimble County. If they do not appeal within the 30 days, then the order becomes final and non-appealable. Section 12, liens, fines, charges, and fees. The city has a lien on the property of the violator once the order becomes non-appealable for all the fines imposed under the order. Also, any abatement costs, and the lien takes precedent over any other liens other than taxes. Section 13, the lien holder notification system sets forth the requirements that the city has to meet so that they get priority over those other liens. And section 14, liens, and that's the procedure for the lien holders once they get notifications that they can correct the violation to protect their priority. And section 15, immediate action, you all still have the ability to take immediate action if the violation is a serious threat to public health, safety, and welfare, so you don't have to go through the whole procedure.
Okay, good deal. You guys have any questions on it? Pretty lengthy.
What's the fines will be on this around here?
We're gonna set each one for each ordinance, because you might wanna do them differently. That's why I didn't put a schedule in here, because right now, none of your ordinances are under the code board. So as we put them under there, we'll establish the fines.
Oh, okay.
Which is gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah, right.
To go through our ordinances to make sure that they're under.
Three. Yeah.
Three on the board, a minimum, I think, 3, right?
That wasn't the minimum under the statute, so you all chose 3.
Yeah, and 3 is good. And then 1 code enforcement officer. And at our meeting, it's Jordan Dennison, the gentleman in the black hat. He bought Mickey and Kenny Forey's house. And he wants to be our code enforcement officer. And he and I have talked about it a few times, and I'm excited about it. Get this ball rolling. It's just slow going. It's like everything else in government. Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
All right, okay, the new business, gentlemen, I've been, received a letter from the new Attorney General that I was to give you all these new, yes, that managing government records and a cooperative undertaking and your duty under the law. So I've passed around I've got to complete this form. Harold, did you get one of these too? It's just saying that you received it. And then I've got to send it in saying that I gave everybody a copy, that everybody knows these rules. And I think it's because there were some amendments to the
only one I saw, there was a change to the statute, one of the definitions.
pretty basic stuff. All right, and the litter abatement grant is coming due in I think it's October, but do you all want to go ahead and do that again? So we can go pay for bags and gloves and stuff to pick up town. We usually donate that money to a group. If you guys are in favor of it.
Sure.
Okay. And,
Make a motion.
all right. Commissioner Helm makes a motion, Commissioner Floyd seconds, that we proceed with the litter abatement grant. And while we're on that, we might ought to look at dates for when that could be. Let's see here, gentlemen. Of course, we don't know what the weather's going to be like, and I'd have to pull up my farmer's almanac. Do y'all want to set a date later? Do we need to have that in minutes, Amy,
Setting up a date.
for the fall cleanup?
I mean, just if you want to notify everyone of
All right, then we'll do that later, guys. And we can notify them on Facebook or newspaper, website. All right, so now striping the parking lot. I had said I would like to get bids on striping the parking lot since it looks so nice now that we've had it sealed and things. But I was reminded that we have a lot of paint in this back room and the tools to put the stuff down. So if you guys are okay with it, I'm gonna put Hoskins on that, and I'll work with him to stripe the parking lots.
We're talking about ours, or we're talking about the churches too?
I think the churches too,
Okay.
yeah.
We maintain it anyway, though. We maintain it anyway, though.
Yeah, we've been trying before.
Right, we have.
If we're doing ours, we might as well do theirs.
Well, we probably need to talk to.
Say something to
Let
them.
them know how, whether they want it diagonal or whether they want it straight, or, you know, how they want it.
I will say something to somebody about that, Darryl. To someone at the church. Okay. Okay, all right, and the next item, we talked about shoring up the lagoon with the riprap. So the last thing on the agenda, and for y'all though in the visitor section, I saved this for last because we need to go into executive session, and unfortunately that kicks you all out. So I will move that we go into executive sessions for discussions which might lead to appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee pursuant to KRS 61.8101F to protect employees or potential employees' interest in their reputations when their personnel or professional merits are under considerations for hiring, firing, or discipline. Do I have a second? Commissioner Hambone seconds it. And all those in favor? Okay. All right, thank you all for coming. We had a motion by Commissioner Helm to come out of executive session and a second by Commissioner Harmon, and all those in favor. There was no action taken during executive session, but I would also like to discuss with you all about the website, or about a website. Ms. Crawford here has been working on one for us, and with our ordinance with creating the code enforcement board and officer, we are going to need the website, or a website. Ms. Crawford says she can do one for us for $150 a month that she will maintain for us at that cost. Did I miss anything?
Yes, now that includes me recording the meeting,
Oh, thank you.
producing the footage that we do here, and creating the website, and then helping these guys work and do what they need to with the website. I don't know
If there's any kind of updates or anything that we need to add, we will let her
Just
know.
call her and let her know,
Yes.
put it on there, like this, real stuff.
Yes,
Putting that,
and all the public notices.
This is what we've started. Now, we don't have to do any of this, so just remember that it can all be changed. If you look up here, this is really cool. This is the sheriff. This is one of the reports they gave. It's under Mayor Todd Pollock, but that's where your meetings will go. The current meeting will go here, and the other one will be archived somewhere on the site. You may have another page that we put all the meetings, and we'll find out how many we have to keep on there at a time, or how long if we do, or anything else. And then your Bedford Bash, your Apple Festival, your Light Up Bedford, there's the library. And then this one's my favorite, about the city of Bedford. It was founded in 1600 BC. The first mayor was Greenie. The population was 3. Number of homes were 2. And of course, we're going to change that. But that would be a description of Bedford and the
when it was
city.
founded and all that.
Yes, yeah, you want to put your information on there. And then, of course, we'll put phone numbers on here, how to contact City Hall,
All
how to
contact
contact the sewer, or whatever departments they're needing, those will be on here. And then, there's another site, another page here. Services, we have one for services, and that's ready to be created and filled in. got it all set up. A gallery, we're gonna put photos in the gallery. And we may make this to where it actually moves. We can do that really easy. But this will be pictures of around Bedford. You know, what's special to you all? What do you? No, no.
That would actually, it don't sound bad, because if they see the 3-yard needs mowed, there you go, that's where you get it off there.
That's up to you. I'll put it on there if you tell me to.
Take a picture of the property and say, so-and-so's property.
Yeah.
Mow it.
And then, city officers, here you all are. As you can see, her and I look real, well, actually, it's her and your attorney there. They look like me and Mary Beth Boone, but anyway, and you can put, we're gonna take your all's pictures. You don't have to wear a tie, just look normal. And then we'll add your photos here and a description of you. You know, your name and.
A little bio.
Yeah, something small. It doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe something, your favorite hobby or your favorite charity or, you know, do you serve on another board?
What you love about Bedford.
What you love about Bedford. It can be anything. It doesn't have to be educational, history. It doesn't have to be anything like that. Just something to give them a reference to you. And that'll help people want to come in because now they have a face. And if you put an emotional attachment there, they're more likely to come in and see you. So, and that's the basis of the pages so far. So, and then we're back at home. And of course, we can change the header. That was just a photo that I had.
I like that photo.
Well, I loved it. I love
The barn.
Where is that barn?
It's in Henry County.
That's cheating a little bit.
I did a photo shoot there, and then I was creating this, and I need a barn. I had one already pulled up that I'd worked on. So I
Where's
just-
that new barn that they have the weddings at down in Humboldt?
That is the Lazy Daisy Wedding Barn, and yes, we can go get a picture. It doesn't look as gorgeous.
Boy,
but-
I didn't know where it was at.
Yeah, it's close to me. You know where David Ginn lives? Right next to him.
Okay.
Yeah. They bought that farm.
Frank, you had a barn out there, you could have that on there too.
Yeah.
So do you have any questions about the site and how it works?
It's very economical. It's, I mean,
If you go into the 21st century, you're gonna have to do something.
Yeah.
Sit here and make monster on you.
Right.
Before it's done, oh my goodness, you give me what I need and it's done. I mean, seriously, that's, all I have to do is add those things I've asked for.
Right, pictures.
Have you been over the lagoon?
And I've been over to the lagoon.
Yeah,
That should go on.
Absolutely.
Actually, it looks good then.
absolutely.
What area?
Lagoon.
You can get a good picture.
It's a treatment plant.
We can get some photos.
Oh,
of the
yeah,
lagoon.
I've got some good pictures.
Yes,
Now, that half that's gonna have to come out of O&M if we start that.
Yes.
Half that money.
yeah. And so you can have a page for different departments if you want.
Okay.
But just remember, people don't like to click.
Yeah.
So the more you can keep it on one page, the better off we are. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
And that can even be your header.
You need a motion on
Yes.
I'd like a
Yeah.
motion to do that.
We have a motion by Commissioner Floyd, to pay Ms. Crawford $150,
Who seconded?
and Commissioner Harmon seconded, and all those in favor?
Now, don't do us like insurance
Oh,
next year, see.
You know what?
The fees.
150.
But, and then it'll also work with your Facebook page. I'll connect the two, and then Todd and I will work together on putting things on Facebook and the website so that they.
It's gonna be nice.
We're already
It's gonna be good.
No, you're not. Hey, I'm editing.
said-
I'm editing.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So,
We're working together and I'm editing,
All
so.
it's
So
gonna be
you're
good.
gonna be the final person.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So thank you.
All right.
Six.
When in doubt, I will consult with our council.
Yes, yeah. Seriously, there may be some things we do have to ask her about before we put them on the site.
Right.
so.
All right, that, with them two in charge over you, that's fine.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.
They know they got us.
All right.
I just got a woman.
Do you have anything else? You guys have anything else? To adjourn? The next meeting is October 18th. And ladies, thank you very much.